to talk about a common saying that Sifu Chen has mentioned to me quite often throughout my training experience with him over the years. I may have mentioned it before in the classes and maybe even talked about it a little bit, but I think it's a good time to revisit this saying that he talks about quite often. It goes like this: 上下一条线，脚下阴阳变. Okay, and that's translated as from top to bottom, one line energy. Top to bottom, one line energy. As a result, the bottom of your feet will know how to do yin and yang. Okay? It knows how to release, it knows how to rebound. So again, 向下一条线，脚下阴阳变. And the importance of that phrase, let's break it down a little bit. Of course, it talks about the upper and lower half must work in harmony. Okay? That's very important. Without that line energy, then in solo practice, you have perhaps too much tension and resistance in the upper part of the body. Without the connection of upper and lower, then you're also off alignment. The harmonies are not, everything is not correctly flushed together evenly. So as a result, you have a lot of leaking energy. So when bottom and top is not working in a harmony, you also have everything kind of off center. There's quite a bit of leaking energy. So that's very important to be mindful of that. And when we're practicing in groups or on your own practice, then you pay attention to that line energy. And once you have that line energy, and of course, that's with alignment, that's with everything that you're applying with the principles, what's going to eventually happen is that you learn to connect to the ground. Okay? And connecting to the ground is a very important principle of what makes it IST, internal system training. Without the ground, then the energy will only stay within yourself. And we don't want that. When it stays within yourself, then, you're going to struggle. You don't have this big cycle. You don't have the movement of the energy. There's quite a bit of limitation. So because we understand about opening joints, we understand about this active releasing, then we learn to connect to the ground. And as a result, once you learn to connect to the ground, then you're going to have this constant releasing and rebounding, connecting, releasing, and rebounding. And when that happens, it changes how you interpret the practice of doing Tai Chi and all the other things that we practice. Okay. When we're doing two-person drills in class, I'm constantly doing that. 向下一条线，脚下阴阳变. Whether I'm in a linear position, whether I'm in an angle position, no matter how you are moving me, I'm one line energy. Because I'm connected to the ground, that provides a way for me to connect to you. Okay? Now, the only way that I will be able to connect to you is only if I connect to the ground. For people that don't understand that principle and they don't release into the ground, what you'll notice is that when you engage with people and push hands, when it becomes unscripted, you feel a lot of tension. You feel a lot of force. There's this type of aggression that is not always that comfortable especially if they're very massive and they're very big and strong, because they don't understand about this active releasing and this one line energy. But when you do have this principle of one line energy and constant connecting to the ground, when you touch somebody, they're as soft as a feather. They really are. So I've come across, practitioners and people who do Tai Chi for a long time. Uh, it doesn't mean exactly if you do it for a long time, you have the softness. Uh, you have it if you have that in your repertoire and your practice and in your program, and you've planted the seeds and you know that that is a good direction to go in. Otherwise, you could be practicing for 20, 30, even 40 years, and you touch somebody right away, you feel this aggression, you feel this force and tension, because they haven't cultivated in that direction. So you don't need, 10, 20, 30 years to cultivate the skill set. If you understand what I'm saying and you become a practitioner of IST, in a few years, you can you can plant the seed already and have a good understanding of the practice. So you don't need, what they say is, you do need time to still get it, but don't let it seem that you have to spend decades to learn it. Of course, if you learn it right early on and you practice decades, then you keep on refining it, refining it. So here at Onbridge Tai Chi, I try to put it out as open and as transparent as possible according to how I'm experiencing it and how I'm learning it. So much of what I say and share, when you put it into the practice, you'll know, because eventually over time, you'll feel it. Okay? That's what it represents. So again, in summary, the phrase, the saying, 向下一条线，脚下阴阳边, plays a role in both stillness training and dynamic movement training. So they both are having this important quality of when you're doing it. As far as I'm concerned, you learn it first in the stillness training. Because when you're moving, it can be difficult to try to piece everything together to understand that line energy, because so much is happening. But when you do it in stillness, you're in a calm control setting, control environment, and then you start using your yi, your intention, to guide and to develop this line energy. And when that happens, your posture will start to be more correct. Your connection to the ground will feel more and more. And you'll feel that it becomes more normal when you have that line energy. And for some of you that come to the in-person class, and you're giving me incoming force, to me, it's more and more normal now. That I feel that line energy from top to bottom, that's internal. I feel the ground more and more. And whether you're coming at me at 5 miles an hour or even 100 miles an hour, it's not going to rattle me. It's not perfect yet, but it's going in that direction. You feel it more and more. And you know what to do when something comes your way. You know how to receive, you know how to open, you know how to make the bottom of your feet become yin and yang, how you release and how you rebound the energy back up. Okay, it's all part of the practice that we do. Again, that's on 向下一条线，脚下阴阳边. And I'll come to that again in the future. As you guys make progress, when I talk about it again, it'll mean something different to you. And that's the way that how it kind of evolves.